Well, look, y'all. Let's get into this. We
obviously ain't here for that though.
It's the first week of the NFL season. We just got done watching Carolina play the Rams. The Rams ended up winning 30-27. Ron Rivera drops to 4-5 as a head coach in game openers. Cam Newton had a pretty good day, statistically speaking, throwing for 239 yards. Christian McCaffrey was still everything, leading the team in both rushing and receiving. But unfortunately, we just couldn't get that W. So, Jamal, I'm going to start with you. You're Ron Rivera right now. You're at the booth taking questions. What are you saying right now?
The same thing we say every other time we
All right,
lose.
can I say?
Oh, there's a lot of missed opportunities, more missed opportunities, and then there were some missed opportunities. Today's loss is really it's really tough to formulate, and here's why, man. Because we have to take into consideration we are playing the defending NFC champs.
Yeah,
it's week one, and let's not understate that. It is week one. And I just believe a lot of this stuff that at times we looked very undisciplined.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen a lot with these these week one games. You get what I'm saying? We lost by what? 3 points?
3
today?
points. Yeah, 3 points.
So the difference could be the DJ Moore fumble. It could be it could be Cam missing a wide open Greg Olsen on the third down. It could be Cam missing another wide open throw in the fourth quarter. It could be Cam making the wrong decision before that throw in the fourth quarter. It could be one play, literally one play in this football game, and we're having a different discussion here today. So again, it's tough for me to really formulate, man, because we were right there. You get what I'm saying? And I believe a lot of times we shot our own selves in the foot. Gotcha. And one more thing I'll say, the defense gives up 30-something points today, but I kind of believe they were on the field too much.
Yeah.
So,
understand. So Rodney, same question. You're Ron Rivera. You're at the podium. You're being asked to sum up today's game. Trying to stay positive and all that. Like, what are you saying right now if you're Ron Rivera?
Put on my Ron Rivera mask. Hey guys, I'm an average coach.
Oh snap!
There were a lot of missed opportunities today. Cam had some overthrows. Luke Kuechly looked like he lost a little bit off the fastball today. Just missed opportunities. Yeah, DJ Moore has never learned how to correctly run the ball and just fall down.
Okay,
fall down more. That's what we need to call him.
That's what we call him.
But I think that they outperformed us today.
Okay.
Goff they out executed us today.
Goff wasn't good. Goff was not particularly good.
But he was better than Cam Newton today. And that's all he had to be was better than Cam Newton today.
Now, Cam Newton went 25 of 38 for 239. I'm going to say that again. 25 of 38 for 239. While conversely, Goff went 23 of 39 for 186. Okay?
But here's the thing, man. Numbers never lie.
True.
But sometimes numbers don't tell the whole story. Okay?
Skew things.
With that, as it may, be that as it may, Cam didn't make the throws when we really needed him to make the throws today. And that's the difference of the ball game right there, man.
Okay, so how much in regards to the offense not being able to execute, how much blame are we putting on Cam Newton right now?
Let me say this.
He showed us a good deal of the blame to me.
Okay.
Also the offensive line too. I mean, he was getting pressured the whole game, and he could hear those footsteps in the back of his head, like I gotta get rid of it. So it's kind of rushed. And then also you got to look at it like this: he had 11 snaps in the preseason.
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah.
And obviously he needs that time. I'm gonna give him a pass this game because maybe this is his preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he comes out sharp on Thursday against Tampa, because if he doesn't come out sharp, it's gonna be some problems.
I actually have full faith he will, because historically when Cam has had lackluster bad games, he usually follows it up with pretty good games after that. And you stole a lot of my thunder because, I was going to say, man, like even the quote unquote dress rehearsal game in the preseason, he didn't even make it through that whole game because of his foot. Right. So, I mean, and those missed throws, that stuff was timing. Like a lot of that stuff is timing. Like, one throw he threw to DJ Moore. DJ Moore looked like he was running a whole nother route. You get what I'm saying? And that's timing that's timing on DJ Moore. That's timing on Cam Newton, man. And sometimes it takes longer to develop that than other teams do.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about his shoulder? Did you guys pay attention to the mechanics? Did he look better? Did he regress?
They look slightly better. Sometimes he reverted back to some of his old stuff. But to me, what was telling is only had 3 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to protect him. Honestly, at this point, let Cam be Cam. And whatever happens has to happen.
Man, we're in year 9, man.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
Have we ever seen Cam Newton finish a game with negative rushing yards?
No, I don't think so.
Not that I could ever remember.
Yeah, well, because he finished in the negative today with those three rushing attempts, and I'm wondering how much is it that he's thinking too much because everyone wants him to be a pocket passer, and how much is it as a coaching staff telling him to stay in the pocket.
And that's a really good point because think about the quarterback position in the NFL is just a lot to think about automatically. But with Cam Newton in particular, protect my shoulder.
Yeah.
my mechanics have to be better. This is my first real live action in God knows how long. You get what I'm saying? I'm developing new chemistry with these new pieces and parts. And then on top of that, you're kind of seeing Norv Turner kind of open up the playbook a little bit because he even stated because of Cam's health last year, we didn't even see the full brigade of the Panthers offense last year. So that's a lot to kind of all consume and think about during the course of an NFL game, man.
I got a negative and a positive too. Christian McCaffrey was an obvious positive. 29 touches, over 200 yards total. The negative about that is, where was everybody else?
Right.
We've been hearing about Curtis Samuel just killing training camp, blazing it.
MVP of training camp every year.
3-4 catches?
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
40 yards maybe?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we need to find a way to get other people involved in the offense. That's on Cam too. You have to make those reads, and the offensive line has to block for you too. Enough for those guys to get open. He's smart taking the checkdowns, but take a chance every now and then.
Right. Now, one thing that I saw today that really stood out to me was a lot of the miscues, a lot of the pre-snap penalties. I think we had about 1 or 2 close to having delay of games, and they had to burn some timeouts, which actually hurt them in the second half when they were trying to make their comeback. They had they had quite a few false starts and some holdings and all that. Are we looking at this as the offense not being able to get it together during the preseason, or should we be looking at this as a problem going forward?
This Ron Rivera's thing, man. The teams are kind of like that.
I actually agree with that. Because historically, it's Groundhog's Day with this stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's that this stuff has been going on for far too long, in my opinion. I mean, the miscommunication with the headset or the coaching, whatever
Special
it is,
teams,
you know what
everything.
I mean? These critical penalties, man. This stupid stuff that's ultimately costing us points, that ultimately cost us games.
Yeah.
I actually agree with Rodney on that, man.
Okay, so let's I want to stay on the offensive side of the ball. So one of the biggest questions that we've had going into the season was actually the offensive line. So give me you guys' thoughts on the offensive line today.
C.
C?
Let's see.
Okay.
I'm a little more generous. I say B- because I think we ran the ball effectively in spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if we could have passed the ball better, it would have opened up the ground game even more. Now, regardless of what happened with the Rams' other defensive players, you got to give them props for controlling Aaron Donald today.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald was ultimately, at least statistically, invisible today.
Nullified. Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, that opened up a lot of stuff for the linebacker who killed us today. What's the guy's
Fowler?
name? Fowler
58.
was one of them, but the linebacker who intercepted Cam, he went crazy today. You get what I'm saying? So, but even with that being said, you can live with that.
Okay.
You just can't let this monster wreak havoc on your whole line all game. So I'm actually more B minus B with the offensive line today. Man.
Okay, so now I'm gonna jump over to the defensive side of the ball. Rodney, I'm gonna start with you. Give me your thoughts overall on the defense today.
Good pressures. Got to get to the quarterback. Got to finish the deal. We only had 1 sack today. Shout out to James Bradbury. 1 sack, 1 interception today. Pay that man, please.
Nah, he played.
Marty, pay the man.
He played very well today, man.
It's too many soft coverages within the zone to me. Critical third down conversions. That was our problem on offense. That's what they converted on.
Yeah.
And it's just
right.
like Jamal said earlier, we just couldn't get off the field in those critical situations. We were close to turnovers. We had a fumble recovery that was a incomplete catch. But yeah, it's BS. Yeah. But it's the defense to me overall was a B minus today. It was a B minus. We have to close the deal getting to the quarterback.
What you got? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What you got, Jamal?
I'm actually going C with the defense. I agree with everything Rodney said. I actually think the linebackers outside of Shaq Thompson struggled today. Even Luke Kuechly, the almighty Luke Kuechly.
He was out of position a lot of things.
I think they really struggled today, man, because even with some of those soft zone coverages, so when you're a linebacker, you playing those soft zone coverages, you gotta pick right. What I mean is, you're either covering this running back coming out the backfield, or you're covering this tight end. And there was a lot of confusion between Jermaine Carter and Luke Kuechly. You get what I'm saying? And I just think there was too much of that. Now, granted, I do believe they were on the field way too much because of our lack of third down conversions. But at the same time, you're missing gaps, you're missing tackles, a lot of missed tackles with Gurley and mostly with the other running back. Right. Whatever guy's name is that I'm going to pick up fantasy football. but
talk about Malcolm Brown.
Yeah. But I just think both the linebackers and the safeties, their run support wasn't where it needed to be today, man. So and that was a big time struggle for us.
Yeah, I got you. So for me personally, you guys have been speaking about the soft coverages that we saw today. I actually saw the coverages as a positive because Goff actually moved around a lot. He had to move around with his legs to keep the play going. And typically when you see a quarterback having a scramble, that means that you're having good coverage downfield. And I'll let you go. And what I'm saying is we couldn't get any pressure on the defensive line. And that's why we were giving up those chunk yards in those critical situations, because we just couldn't get any pressure. So me personally, I think I'm gonna go a B overall. Even with Luke Kuechly kind of being out of sorts today, the second and third level, in my opinion, played pretty doggone good today. But outside of maybe the first quarter, I don't remember the defensive line getting too much pressure on the quarterback. So we got Tampa Bay next week. Hopefully we'll see a different defensive line. I'm not even going to put his name out there because I don't want to put no added pressure on it. We didn't get a chance to see him today. Yeah. But I'm hoping that come Thursday we'll see a different defensive line. Yeah.
And speaking of the defense, this has been touted as a hybrid 4-3-3-4. To me, it looked mostly same old 4-3. I didn't see those exotic blitzes that we send sometimes, and maybe they just didn't want to do that with Goff today. But I just think after 3 quarters of not getting to the quarterback, you try something different in the fourth quarter, and I just didn't see it, man. And sometimes you got to give credit to the other team.
Yeah.
Goff got the ball out quickly, all game, really.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to give credit to the other team too, man.
Okay, Rodney, give me your offensive and your defensive player that stood out to you today.
I mean, offensive.
Well, yeah. Hey, well, you never know. Everybody sees the game differently.
It's offense is number 22.
Now,
man.
and when I say give me somebody who stood out, it doesn't necessarily have to be a positive thing, okay?
Okay, never mind. I take that back.
See? Exactly.
DJ Moore.
He stood out, okay?
Yeah. He stood out.
Yeah. Fall down.
Fall down,
please.
Fall down, please, man. I understand the fight for the more yards you want to get. Sometimes the best play is just to fall down. Like Cam had to learn the best play is the check down. Sometimes the best play is the fall down.
I think DJ Moore needs to have a conversation with Greg Olsen. We talked about this off camera. There was a play a few years ago where Greg Olsen was trying to make a play. He dropped the ball. Since that point, he never dropped the ball. Since that point, go have a talk with Greg Olsen.
Now on the fumble, it was a perfect textbook peanut punch. It was in his defense.
To be fair,
it was a
you're right.
So are we overreacting? Because he
I
only
mean,
fumbled once. The other one was credit Cam Newton.
Y'all know my favorite saying: optics mean everything. We saw DJ Moore last year with some critical fumbles. What you're saying is completely fair and true, but at the same time, sometimes when the wrong person does it, it's like, tighten up, man. Regardless of the situation, man. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, come on, man. It's CMC, dude.
Yeah, okay. So
it was the Carolina McCaffreys today.
The Carolina McCaffreys.
It was, dude.
Okay,
so it seemed like he was the only one with heart on the field sometimes, man.
Seriously. Yeah.
Let's jump on the other side of the ball. Good and bad. Give me your player or players that stood out today.
Oh, James Bradbury.
Justified.
Good coverage. Sacks, interceptions, was there with his man. I had to hate the bad one. I hate to call it out, man. Luke looked like someone's been taking off the fastball, man, and it's kind of disappointing.
But I'm not worried about Luke.
I'm not worried about it either. He's going to correct himself for the next game.
He is. He's going to be a monster from here on out, man. Gotcha, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
I mean, no.
What you got, Jamal? Give me your players that stood out.
Stood out, man. Shaq Thompson actually stood out to me, and he stood out to me for a kind of a different reason, because I think the coaching staff put him in some very, very tough positions today. Yeah. There was one too many times for my liking where I saw Shaq Thompson covering the slot receiver.
Yep.
Now, coming out of college, he was touted as a guy who could do that. That doesn't mean he should be doing that all the time, especially when you have Russ Cockrell and Kevon Seymour. Yep. Why are you having a linebacker out there covering the slot receiver? You get what I'm saying? That puts a lot of pressure on the defense to try to kind of shade their coverage toward the slot guy. You get what I'm saying? Because you got your linebacker doing that. So even with that being said, he made some good plays. He had one play where he knocked Gurley.
Yeah. That was
played the wood on him. He put the wood on him, man.
Yeah,
but the other guy that stood out, unfortunately, was Luke as well. But like I said, there's not one part of me that's worried about Luke Kuechly going forward.
Now, with some of the negatives that we brought up,
I got one more. All right, what you got? Vernon Butler. Let's move on.
Okay,
sorry, who?
with some of the negatives that we're pointing out, and we kind of already talked about this earlier. How much are you guys attributing this to the lack of offseason?
As far as
Luke Kuechly being off today,
not much to me. It's natural at this point. He's about 29, 30.
Yeah.
So
he's been in the league long enough.
He's been in the league long enough. It's
however,
he's still high caliber.
However, it's still game one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You this stuff is going to happen early in the season. And so I don't put much stock in it.
Now, speaking